Hey Aries, welcome to your weekly forecast for July 26th through August 1st. This is for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to see what's coming up for you guys in the week ahead. Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. See what messages are coming in from Spirit for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I feel like we need one more good shuffle here. Aries, I feel like some of you are feeling really like restricted. I feel like there might be a person or a situation that you're feeling like you can't be yourself, or you can't do what you're like feeling like you want to do. I'm feeling really like stifled or burdened in the energy. So I'm curious to see what the cards have to say. Okay. But I kind of feel like there's going to be a message here, and like giving yourself permission to disconnect from this energy. I feel like somebody, a person or a situation is putting way too much on your shoulders. Like they're relying on you way too much, or they're really coming in with like this heavy guilt trip. Like you have to, handle something for them or help them through something, but it's not your burden to carry. I'm curious to see what the cards have to say, but energetically, that's the vibe that I'm getting. So the first cup thing here is Two of Cups, right? And so this is like, for me in my readings, the first card here is coming up with like the foundation of the energy. So this could be like what you're putting out to the universe, or what situation is like triggering what's going to come in down the road. And so Two of Cups is reciprocal energy. Okay. In love readings, a lot of people are used to watching tarot because they're looking at love readings. It can be soulmate love, true love, connecting with somebody, but reciprocal energy, right? For me, Two of Cups is when giver meets giver. Okay. And some of you Aries are in this energy where you're having a lot on your shoulders, and you're like, man, like I wish I could find another me. I wish I could find somebody who's going to come in and who's going to step up and who's going to get stuff done, who's going to have my back. Some of you are looking into it with this energy. So for some of you, like, you're kind of manifesting it. Some of you may have manifested fairly recently a fulfilling romantic connection, and that burden energy could be like people pulling on you, right? Maybe they've kind of courted you, and they feel like, oh, Aries is all happy, and Aries is all off with their new honey, and Aries like doesn't even know what I'm going through. Oh my gosh, Aries, please, I need to tell you what a horrible day I'm having. And so it could be like some of you are feeling like, man, like, can I enjoy this without like the interruptions, without the constant emergencies. So some of you are dealing with this energy kind of overshadowing this Two of Cups, and it doesn't have to be that way. Give yourself permission to not have to carry those burdens. But the next card coming up here is the Two of Coins. Now, how interesting is this? We have two repeating twice. We have two coming in back to back. Okay, so two is being emphasized. So in terms of angel numbers, two is going to be relationships. Two is going to be partnerships. Two is going to be a message that comes in asking us to keep our faith. Okay, to keep our faith. Now, Aries, those of you who watch my readings and who have been watching this channel for a while, you know that in the weekly forecasts, I do everything that I can not to talk about love and romance. Because every tarot reader on YouTube, well, I shouldn't say every, but the majority, focus on love and romance. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm glad that they do it. We need a different perspective. Love and romance is an important part of the human experience. I'm not saying that they're doing something stupid, or I'm not putting it down. I just kind of try to focus on the spiritual journey. I try to focus on what you guys are going through and your energy, and worry less about other people or romantic relationships in the weekly forecasts, right? In the monthly reading, I'll talk about love and romance, but sometimes in the weekly forecast, Spirit will bring up a message around love and romance. And maybe for some of you, it's not love and romance. It might be more so like companionship or friendship or soul tribe that you're trying to manifest. The Two of Cups coming in with a Two of Coins and the energy from the Aquarius full moon that we're still kind of somewhat under. It lasts a few days after the full moon. It's not just going to be, okay, it's not the day of the full moon, the energy is gone. Some people say a week before and a week after. Some people say 3 days before and 3 days after. But we're still kind of in that energy. And so for me, the Two of Cups coming in with the Two of Coins makes me feel like there's a little bit of a block for some of you that Spirit is trying to help you clear. And the block is that you're too much inside your head. Like everything is so much work, everything is so challenging, you're jumping through hoops, you're running around trying to get everything done, there's no time for play. So how are you going to meet a soulmate? Or how are you going to meet soul tribe if there's no time to play? Or you're working so hard on yourself because there's people around you that make you feel like you're not good enough. I'm hearing imposter syndrome. Some of you might be dealing with imposter syndrome. I'm not a psychologist. I cannot diagnose you, right? I can't tell you that you have imposter syndrome, right? But imposter syndrome is when we think inside that we're bad or that we're flawed in some kind of way, and that if somebody gets too close to us, they're gonna see, right? Like we'll go into a job, we'll get hired, and we're like, oh my gosh, it's any minute before they figure out that I'm an idiot and that I'm gonna mess up, and they're gonna want to fire me, and they're gonna regret that they hired me because they didn't know who they were hiring when they hired me. Meanwhile, they hired you based on your resume, based on your interview. You are that person, but that negative voice in your head convinces you that you can't do it, right? And so maybe it's not a job for some of you, it could be relationships, right? Like, oh, well, I'm not good enough, or I'm not who I'm supposed to be, or I seem like a badass, but I'm not a badass, whatever it might be, right? For a certain percentage of you, there could be like this fear of like people like getting close to you and you not being good enough. But I feel it's coming from the sense that there are people around you that are putting way too much pressure on you. And so I feel like it's time to disconnect from that, to get out of your head, to disconnect from that, and to make time for play. Okay, to make time for play. I know, Aries, you guys can be very much go-getters. You guys are not the kind of people that are going to sit around feeling sorry for yourselves. So chances are, if some of you are feeling like you have imposter syndrome, or if some of you are feeling not good enough in some kind of way, you're already on it trying to improve yourself. And Spirit is saying really what you just need is time for play, right? You're not that flawed. You just need to get away from the people who are putting negativity in your head and make time for play. Your next card that's coming up here, my dears, is the Two of Swords. Holy cannoli, look at this. I shuffled this deck. You guys saw me shuffle. And we have 2 repeating 3 times. 2 is like, okay, so now number 2 is being like shouted at us. Spirit is shouting the number 2, shouting it at us. And so 2, like I said, it can be relationships and partnerships, but 2 also comes in with the message of keeping the faith. Keep the faith. Keep the faith right now. Your angels are in control. You're being guided. You're being led. Keep the faith. So some of you are kind of beginning to lose steam or getting discouraged or losing the faith. Now this is going even deeper, because if you've watched my videos for a while, some of you have been around long enough to hear me talk about the Two of Swords. Every reader is going to have certain cards in their deck that mean a little something extra, okay? Two of Swords can be somebody's kind of bamboozling us in a way. Somebody has the wool over our eyes, so to speak, and they're trying to hide information from us, or they're trying to like trick us into something. 2 can also be where we feel like we're at an impasse, right? We're hoping something will just change or fix itself or go away, and we're procrastinating and taking steps to get through it. So for me, in my readings, when the Two of Swords comes up, over the years, Spirit brings Two of Swords in my readings to say, look, we're trying to show you, the writing is on the wall. We're trying to help you make some changes and some transitions so that you can get away from a situation that's stifling you, that's suffocating you, But you're just kind of sitting there like an ostrich. You know, the ostrich thinks, okay, well, let me put my head in the sand, and if I don't see it, and if I don't think about it, if I don't give it energy, then maybe it'll go away. With the Two of Swords, Spirit is saying no, at least in my readings, no. If you don't take the action you're being guided to take, there will be a tower moment. Now, the tower moment doesn't come to punish you, right? And I know a lot of you want to come into the comments and get really upset at me and say that you hate God and you hate the universe and you hate the angels and you're sick of the tower moments and you refuse to have another one. They don't come in as punishments, and we can avoid them. Okay, we can avoid them. The tower moments come to free us when we get stuck in a cycle and when we're not doing the work to get out of the cycle. The tower is not about punishing you. The tower is about freeing you. It just feels really crappy because we feel like we're being pushed off the diving board before we were ready. But then, do we want to sit and say, oh, too much time passed and I missed my opportunity? Or do we want someone or something to keep us on track, to keep us on schedule? That's what the tower moment does, right? So either way, we're going to be on track, we're going to be on schedule. It's up to you if you're going to dive in or if you're going to get pushed. That's what the Two of Swords tells me. It's up to you. You want to dive in and have some control over the process, or do you want to get pushed? Okay, so some of you are procrastinating and hesitating making a big decision because you're afraid of what might happen, or you're afraid that you might not find better. And you have two repeating here 3 times saying, keep the faith, keep the faith, keep the faith. It's not worth going through this struggle, going through this struggle, going through this burden, going through this heaviness. Okay? Your next card coming up here is the 8 of Coins, right? And so 8 of Coins can be working on a project, working on an idea. It can also be a new skill, okay? Some of you are wanting to start a business. Some of you are very, very unhappy in a work situation, and you're saying, oh, well, maybe if I picked up a new skill, or maybe if I learned this thing, or if I learned that thing, you know. And so 8 of Coins comes up to confirm for us that, you know what, yes, that's going to be profitable for us. That's going to be a good idea for us to invest in, like, you know, mastering a skill or strengthening certain skill sets. 8 of Coins also comes in to remind us that we might be putting way too much pressure to hurry up and finish something. But if we pay attention to the details, we're going to have really good results. Okay? Really good results. So if you are in a situation where maybe like you're kind of worried about your performance at work, 8 of Coins would say, hey, it's a good idea for you to make sure that you slow down and pay attention to the details. You know, if you're doing something in terms of a creative project, you might be feeling really hurried and really rushed and really pressured to hurry up and get it out there. And Spirit is saying, no, don't allow yourself to be rushed to hurry up and get it out there. Put it out there once it feels finished to you, once it feels complete. I feel some of you are going to be going through an absolute, total, complete revision of a process of something that you started, and you're feeling really discouraged. But Spirit is saying this is happening to keep you from a really big headache in the future. For some of you, I'm feeling there may be something with like home renovations, like you started to do like home renovations, or you started to do some kind of remodeling, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you know, like your contractor or somebody's like, oh, we just realized that this was installed incorrectly, so we're going to have to take it out and we're going to have to redo it. It could be wiring, it could be plumbing, I mean, I don't know, but like something is having to be taken out and done over. Or you submitted something creatively, like it could be a book or something, and you thought you were at the stages of getting ready to you know, kind of pitch it and publish it, and it's like, oh wait, no, we're gonna have to take it back for to revise the process. And so some of you are really frustrated, but I feel like this is happening because it's going to give you a better result in the end, and it's going to protect you from some kind of calamity, right? Like if you had your wiring done incorrectly, that's very dangerous. That's very risky, right? Or if the plumbing was put in incorrectly, that can be a huge headache down the line. So even though it's an inconvenience for this thing to be reworked, redone, at least you're not going to have a big headache down the line. So some of you may experience some kind of a delay in this way where you're finding out something has to be done over. And Spirit is saying, look, just take your time with it. Don't rush. Don't hurry. Don't get sloppy. Don't cut corners, because the outcome is going to be really wonderful for you if you can take the time to work on those details and to carve out those details. You may want to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks are going to resonate with you more than others. If you would like a private reading with me, you can schedule at calendly.com/amethystangelite. Someone is going around commenting and emailing people pretending to be me, saying that they just have to tell you something, hurry up and send them money, and they're gonna like give you get you to the head of the reading line, and like they're gonna tell you what they have to tell you. That's not me, guys. I don't do that. I don't do stuff like that. The only way to schedule a private reading with me is to go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, and you can schedule a private reading with me there. If you would like to check out the love readings, those are linked in the description. Once a month I do love readings. I link those in the description. And as I said, be sure to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos, because some weeks those might resonate with you more than others, or they might add a little extra information. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Bye, my dears. Be well.